There is no judgment against Barrister Julius Abure. He remains the national chairman. Of course, he has done well for himself and for the party and for the entire obedient Nigerian youth. Thank you.
All right. You said Labour Party is one and there is no crisis within the party, but I'm sure you know that is not what Nigerians are seeing. The Labour Party crisis culminated in the show of shame at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal, where Lamidi Apapa was harassed. Do you think he deserved such treatment?
Well, you know, one thing with the presidential election is that it's not an election that you tell like Tales of the Moonlight. This is an election that Nigerian youths participated fully. They wanted to get involved in governance, and they started by going to get their PVCs, which they did. After that, they came out and voted massively. It's working for Labour Party. So leadership of the political party cannot be argued on the floor of the tribunal. And I'm happy with what the court did that day. The court, you know, stepped down Labour Party representation. And the second day, the second time, they appeared. They came with a lawyer. And you also saw what the judge did to the lawyer. He asked the lawyer to either walk out or to sit down and observe. That is to tell you the extent people can go in order to damage other people's self-worth. And yesterday, on Friday, he wasn't there. Today, again, he wasn't there. That is to tell you that they've already started experiencing some level of failure in their dream of hijacking Labour Party. So the man that came to the court was not supposed to be in court. He was just influenced. He was moved to come there. And Nigerian youths, which you know are not happy with the outcome of the election, they are following. They're always in the court, observing what the judiciary will do. So when this man came to the court and they did what they did, Nigerian youths responded to him and reacted to him. It's not anybody's fault. Nigerians are watching us. And it's time we do things with this consciousness that we cannot succeed, that we cannot just do anything we want to do in the country and go scot-free with it. It's high time we begin to, you know, put checks on ourselves. That is what Nigerian youths have started doing. We are putting checks on our leaders. We are putting checks on anybody. And with or without me, anything could have happened. And that was exactly what happened. Nigerian youths said, no, why were you here? You can't come here to argue about this leadership crisis we are arguing. You can't hijack the party in the court. Go back to the secretariat. And that was what they were not even beaten. They just denied them from speaking to the press because he wanted to use the press to pass wrong information. And from the video I watched online, they were just stopped from speaking to the press.
All right, so Mr. Kennedy, as a result of what you just said, you keep talking about Nigerian youths. I'm going to ask you, are Nigerian youths the ones controlling your party? And second, you said there is no crisis. In the same breath, you're saying some members of your party are trying to hijack the party. But does this justify the way a high-ranking member of your party was treated in the courts?
Can you take that again?
I asked you 3 questions in one, and it's as a result of your submission. You kept talking about Nigerian youths, why Nigerian youths are not happy and all of that. And so I asked you, are Nigerian youths the ones controlling your party? 1. 2, you say there is no crisis in your party, and in the same breath, you're saying some members of your party are trying to hijack the party. And also I asked you, all of this you have said, do they justify the way a high-ranking member of your party was being treated in the courts?
Well, thank you so much for the question. Number 1, Nigerian youths participated in 2023 general election. Many of them are not even Labour Party members. Majority of them are called obedient. Most of them are not card-carrying members of Labour Party. So when I mention Nigerian youth, I refer to the larger Nigerians who supported the Labour Party, who expected His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to be declared as their president in 2023 general election. And since that didn't happen, they are following up on the judiciary. So they come to the judiciary, they come to the tribunal to follow up and observe the proceedings. And that was why they were not happy. Of course, you could see it everywhere that people were not happy with the way Apapa stood up in the court to say that he's representing the party when there is an orderliness. And the same our Papa has been suspended. So when you say he's a high-ranking officer of the party, he used to be the deputy national chairman of the party, but as at that day he came to that court, he was no longer a national officer of the party by virtue of his suspension during the NEC meeting in Asaba. So he's coming there to say he's a member of the Labour Party, he's the acting national chairman of the Labour Party. That maybe I feel that was what aroused the emotion of many Nigerians, not just the youth. If you look at the video which I'm watching now, it's not only youth, there are elderly people there that stop them from perpetuating the propaganda they always like perpetuating. And again, yes, when I say there is no crisis, as far as I know, today the party is one. We had the NWC meeting some few days ago, and the party is moving on. So the party, there is no crisis. Our national chairman is Barrister Julius Abure, the national secretary is Omar Farouk Alhaji. So the party is working. I'm just telling Nigerians to ignore the little drama that were perpetuated by some disgruntled members, former members of the party.
All right, so juxtaposing, looking at all of these issues and juxtaposing it with all of the, the issues with the Federal High Court's nullification of Alex Oti's candidacy, including other Labour Party candidates, would it be fair to say perhaps this where the loopholes and discrepancies the Lamidi Apapa faction was trying to avoid?
Well, my sister, I am happy you asked this question. Number one, there is no judgment against our governor, Alex Oti. Even the judge himself, if you are following up, the judge have, dismissed such insinuation. But that is also to tell you that those people you are referring as are trying to manage crisis in the party, they are celebrating such judgment. They are celebrating that our governor has to go because of their personal interest. But I'm sorry, the Nigerian judiciary cannot be bought. They tried to influence a lot of things. They went around across the country trying to withdraw the cases of people that won the election under Labour Party. What does that mean? What does that tell you? That they are dancing some music being played from the background by some certain people or some certain high-placed individuals. But right, Alex Oti will be sworn in on 29th, I can assure you.
All right. Now, many Labour Party members believe that Apapa and others were paid to destabilize the Labour Party. Why is this so?
Well, I feel so because, of course, if you watch the play of events, it shows that they were paid. Like, for example, Apapa and many of them in that group that I know, when they visit Abuja, most of them sleep in party offices. They sleep in our party national secretariat. And today, my sister, these guys sleep in one of the best apartments in Abuja. Today, in fact, the former PA to national chairman, PA on media and publicity, Arabambi, sent me videos of where they are flying private jets. This is somebody that I've worked with. These are people that I know. They are not flying private jets. You and I know the cost of private jets. And if they say nobody is sponsoring them, can they give us an account of how they purchased those private jets to fly them to Bauchi and come back? Can they give us an account of how they are paying the hotel bills in Abuja? Can they give us an account of how they got the powerful SUV, one of the most recent SUV vehicles that is now carrying Apapa around? In as much as I'm not wishing them ill or not being wealthy, but within 1-2 months, for somebody that I know their antecedent, I know what they are doing, I know where they sleep when they come to Abuja, to now start flying private jets, sleeping in the best apartments in Abuja, and using the best vehicles, parading security personnel, it should tell you a lot of things, my dear sister.
But Mr. Kennedy, why do you think you need to know all of this? And at the same time, while you answer that, many analysts say the party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi, should have intervened to resolve the crisis. Why has he not brought the warring parties together?
Well, you know, respect, they said, is reciprocal. When any member of the party shows recognition and respect to the leader of the party, the leader of the party will have no reason not to reciprocate. When this issue started, when the little fracas that happened in the parties happened, did Apapa reach to the leader of the party? He didn't reach him. And when people say Peter Obi have not spoken, Peter Obi have spoken a lot of times. In the NEC meeting we had in Asaba, you saw Peter Obi there. His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi was there, live and direct. You saw all the elected members of the party there, live and direct. You saw all the party chairmen and secretary across the 36 states of the nation and the FCT, live and direct. And you saw all the National Working Committee members, live and direct. The CTC of the NEC meeting is out from INEC. INEC was there, and they participated in that NEC meeting. So Peter Obi said in that NEC meeting that as far as he knows, there is no problem in the party, and there is one national chairman that he knows, which is Julius Abure. If you recall, there was an interview, live broadcast with His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi on Arise TV, where he mentioned that even the Apapa, he doesn't know him as the acting national chairman of the party. That should tell you that the Apapa missed, even though he's an elderly man, he didn't follow the right channel to do what he was asked to do. And that was why I don't expect His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi to always say, to always talk every day. You know, we have other presidential candidates. How many times do they talk? Is it because His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is accepted by the public and he's always living very close to the public? He's always talking to the public at every slight opportunity. That is why I want him to be speaking to people that have sold their mind out. I will not support that.
All right. Now, back to you. A chieftain of your party, Abayomi Arabambi, alleged that you planned to assassinate him. How will you react to this serious allegation, Mr. Kennedy?
Well, my party have made a press conference. I've also asked Arabambi to come to the public, and I have in my phone all the conversations I had with Arabambi, and I'm willing to submit this phone for the DSS to go through it and see if there is any such text message referring to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi sending me to attack anybody. There was no such message. Arabambi has been noted to be a serial blackmailer, and I challenge him to come to DSS. Of course, I'm sure the DSS will soon invite us to come and show our phones for Nigerians to know that Arabambi is a liar. Let people check our phones and see if there's any text message that I sent to Arabambi referring to threat to his life. You know, Arabambi kept sending me videos of the activities. He sent me some messages that Abure must go, and I responded to him accordingly, that Apapa can never be the national chairman of the party. This is just one of the statements that I exchanged with him. And I want him to come public and let's show. I've done screenshots of all my messages with him. He's the one always sending me messages and sending me videos of where they are in private jets, where they are in doing their activities. He's the one always sending me all manner of petitions against Abure. And if I did what he said, let him come public, let him invite me in DSS, let two of us go there and defend ourselves. It's so simple. We have the Directorate of State Security, we have the Nigerian Police, we have the investigators. Let them investigate our phone and see if I did that. I didn't do that. It is not my character. I am from a royal family somewhere in Imo State.
All right, let's quickly move on. Now, the Labour Party came third in the presidential election and is now at the tribunal. How confident are you that the judiciary will give you victory?
Well, that statement that Labour Party came third, I would have preferred if you say that INEC gave Labour Party third position in that election. And that is why we are challenging the result of that election. The process of that election we are not too comfortable with it as a political party. Of course, this matter is in court. I wouldn't want to say much about it. We believe in Nigeria judiciary, and we believe that this time, Nigerian judiciary must stand up to save our democracy. Because if INEC have given, if INEC were empowered by virtue of 2022 Electoral Act to use electronic method in the voting, and INEC ended up not using that process, I think it's something that we need to question if Nigeria have to succeed in democracy. We have to, you know, when a constitution is faulted, I think there's problem. So we have to follow Nigerian constitution to the letter. And that is why the Labour Party have peacefully, even the Mahmoud of a man told us to go to court, that if we are not happy with the result he declared, we should go to court. I wonder why this court is now generating a lot of issues around the country. People are now fighting the party, raising even pre-election matters, even after election, you know, just because they want to fight the party. We have been asked to go to court. We are in court, and we have strong faith that justice must prevail at the end of the tunnel.
Sadly, we have to round off this session. Thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy Ahanotu, for joining us tonight. I've been speaking with the Deputy National Secretary and Acting National Youth Leader of the Labour Party as we take a look at the raging crisis within the Labour Party. Thank you very much for finding time to join us this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Now let's take a short break, and when we return, it will be time to speak with our second guest of the day, who is the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, in Delta State, Kenneth Gbagi, for discussion on the fallout of the state governorship election. Please stay with us.
Join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains removal. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning.
Wow! Now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
The next house is yours.
Ovieme.
Oh, I wish you were here.
I'm always with you.
But it's not the same without you.
MTN 5G's amazing technology will change how we experience life and the internet. Get ready to encounter the incredible, and remember, no be juju, na MTN 5G.
Did you know that a quarter of the world's deaths from malaria is in Nigeria? And the reason being a mosquito that spreads malaria, a disease that puts everyone's life in distress. We believe that protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Mortein insecticide with its improved formulation kills 100% mosquitoes that spread malaria. So, spread the message of how we can fight to end malaria with Mortein. Mortein, our number one choice.
It's not your regular show. It's an online interactive session where I will share my views on the everyday issues that cut across politics, security, health, current affairs, governance, and so much more.
Welcome back. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the second guest of the day. I am joined by the candidate of the Socio-Democratic Party, SDP, in Delta State, Kenneth Gbagi, for discussion on the fallout of the state governorship election. Gbagi is a criminologist, entrepreneur, lawyer, and philanthropist. He's also a former Minister of Education. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, sir.
Very good evening to you.
Now, let's begin with politics in Delta State. How will you describe it?
Quite unfortunate. We had it all going well. We had the mixture of the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the last 8 years has been a mirage of an unfortunate occurrences that the entire country has come to know as the most backward state in the country. The state where leadership says what he does not mean and mean what he does not say. So to that extent, it's unfortunate. We funded the PDP, as it were, and we gave it our shot, waited for our turn. The governor, the outgoing governor, as you now know him, leaves very little to be desired of him. A man who says good morning and he actually means good night. A man who says good night, he means good morning. A man who tells you to wait and you should be running. At one point in the life of Delta State, he was seen as my closest friend, my closest brother. He used to call me brother. And everybody across the globe had come to know him to be that. Just for instance, he was the one who put the entire governors, all the country together in Delta State and said that on no account should they have a president that is not from the South-South. He granted a press conference, issued a communique, and it turned out to be that he was lying to himself. So we now know what it is. Everything in Delta needs to be rechecked all over because we have lived with the most deceitful human being that nature has bequeathed to the state to date. So it's unfortunate politically for us.
Interesting. Now, you were the SDP candidate in Delta State in the 2023 elections. I would like you to describe the outcome of that election.
The election itself would have been wonderful. The election itself would have been a thing of joy. But where you have a man who is so desperate, having lost the vice presidential bid, he launched an attack on the entire election for the governorship, hijacked everything, and sat down in his bedroom and allocated numbers to people as he deemed fit or deemed fit, all just to believe that no matter what happened, to hell with it, I will bribe the court as he's known to do. I will bribe the judges. I will bribe people and I'll get my way. Unfortunately, life has moved. You saw the other day, policemen being tried to be bribed in Nigeria. They have rejected bribe as much as 800 million. I know judges, benefit of hindsight. I was seated in a sitting room one day when Okowa brought $100,000 to bribe a judge. And that judge shouted, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he knelt down and said, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." So he knows nothing else. It's been his character to bribe and be dodgy. You see this mien as though he's a gentleman, but beneath that gentleness look is a hard criminal that needs to be dealt with properly. Having said so, the election result is not what is being touted around. But my joy is this. We petitioned all the candidates who ab initio are not qualified. I mean, if you didn't go to school, you say you went to school and you filed those results and swear to an affidavit with INEC and the courts. You are not qualified if it is found out that you are not qualified. A very similar case is the man who says he has an NYC result. The Director General says, "I'm waiting for you in the court. It's not my result." No matter what you do, it becomes so apparent that you have done it wrongly, that you are ab initio a criminal. And the petition we filed is very clear. All of them have replied, including INEC. And let me take it in that sequence. INEC is the umpire of the election. INEC have said that everything I have said that the election is not free and fair, and they violated the electoral rule. They did not transmit the electoral result by beavers and all of that. INEC has agreed that that was the case. So what are we talking about? INEC even went further, unfortunately, to say that, yes, you may be right, but why are you suing all the other candidates? They did not look at section 42, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act. That gives me the window to sue even as much as 20 of them if they were not qualified, and I feel that they were an infringement to my election. So that, for me, INEC has done very well. INEC have confirmed that in any case, it did not conduct election against the laws that say you should conduct election with beavers. If that is the case, that's why I have 2 pranks of my application or petition. Petition number 1 is that all these persons are not qualified.
Before you get
and we
to
have
that,
showed documentation to the effect that they are not qualified.
Before you get to that, you have talked about this, before you get to your application and tribunal, you have talked about this in bits, but for the sake of, let's expatiate now. Despite coming a distant fifth, you claim the election was rigged. Why did you say so? And do you have cast iron evidence?
The facts are the facts. The fact is that all the 4 candidates ahead of what Okowa put together as candidates in their numbers, they are not persons to contest election in the first place. And all that I've said, I have produced documentary evidence. I've produced papers to show that they forged papers, they brought fake papers, they are not supposed to qualify. Contradict it in the court. I mean, it's my legal right, not just being a lawyer, it's my legal right for me to say, if you say Peter is contesting an election with me, and Peter did not go to primary school or secondary school, and Peter said he went, let Peter produce the contrary information to the effect. So I don't have a problem. So I am saying they were not qualified. The legal documents to that effect are there for everybody to see, for the world to check. If they are not qualified, who is qualified? If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not qualified, the 7th person that is qualified by God's grace is declared the winner. So let them come and tell the public if they are qualified and how they were qualified. And in any case, to make my case easy, all of them had replied the petition, and they have bought into my chip that they are not qualified. Now, so all that is left with Okowa, as is usually known to do, is that he believes that he can buy his way. But the judiciary, I tell you, is getting stronger. You know, the yearnings are far from the cry of people, you know, that it has to be done right. So I believe very strongly that before long, these facts will be there for people to know. The more we educate people to understand it, the better for all of us. Sheriff, who is the candidate of the PDP, I said, yes, I submitted forged result. I submitted fake result. I submitted fake papers, but I did not submit it again. But these documents were submitted before to the same INEC. You took oath, you swore to an affidavit and all of those. And they are in public domain. So what have I said? The APC candidate have said, everything you said in the petition is correct, but a local court in Abuja has nullified it. I don't know how a local court in Abuja nullifies what a Supreme Court of America has said. It doesn't make sense. So all of that has been put together. We are waiting for justice to be done. Unless they can show us that those documents as contained in the petition of 1, 2, 3, 4 are not correct. And if they can show to that effect, which they've not done, I must tell you that they have replied. All the replies are in my favor, including INEC. We just wait for the D-Day for justice to be done to the people of Delta who are dying, who are groaning, and are in pain. Everybody know you, as this newscaster, you know you have family, you have brothers and sisters. We have been treated as though we don't belong to this clique of people. We have been treated as though Delta does not have a father and mother. I bring myself forward to say, I am the father of Delta today. I want to get it right. If the documentations are correct, if these people are forged papers, they are not supposed to contest election, let the tribunal do justice. And then that's what all Deltans and Nigerians are waiting for. Delta State is a microcosm of the entire country, and I can tell you that everybody believes that it's a bad time Delta State is liberated. That's my position.
Are you sure? So are you sure you'll be able to win in the tribunal?
When you use the word, if I was sure, against the background of the documentation and what we have, no tribunal in the world, I mean, for you to be bribed, for you to take bribe, you must know the outcome of it. You must have a loophole. These documents are cast in iron, and how do you want to do it? So what I'm saying is that based on the documentation we have submitted, and they have replied, it is clear that they themselves have given up that they are not people meant to be governors of a state, and they thought it was business as usual. I mean, the greatest mistake they made is that I am in the ballot. You cannot change it. You can see how Okowa went to the extent of getting Dawane, one illiterate, uneducated fellow, to say he was withdrawing the case. Legally, look at that. Legally, he has no powers to do so. It's only the national party that could have done something like that. But he collected some peanuts and what have you, bought some 1 or 2 small cars for him, and the man went to withdraw, write a lawyer who is not qualified, who is in fact running now because that was an incursion against the legal and the ethics of the profession, that he was withdrawing SDP from the case, which the tribunal has dismissed him. But we're not leaving that lawyer to go scot-free, so we use it as a landmark thing to teach some other ones who want to behave like him as a lawyer. That man has told everybody that he's been in the party planted by Okowa in the last how many years to steal the mandate of SDP. If you look at it, one of the great big pastors of the Baptist church called me 2 days ago, and I said, Pastor, Bishop, where is your vote? He said, look, we two together, Baptist church, we have 566 branches of the church. All of us, our members, voted for you. If the Catholic, the Anglican church, the Pentecostal church, the Celestial church, the CAC church, everybody said they voted for Gbagi, Okowa merely just sat down and allocated numbers the way he wanted it. But my joy is that they have agreed with me that that was what happened. INEC have said the election was not conducted in line with the Electoral Act. I'm vindicated. All we are now waiting for is justice. And in any case, our option 2 prayer is that, would you not declare us as governor immediately? The option 2 is to immediately declare a re-election, and all those criminals, by their record and their party, are excluded from participating. And if that happens, it means only SDP will be at the contest, because there's no other party on the ground that is known to the people. So if all the church voted, Delta State is a 94-95% membership of Christianity and what you have. If they all voted, as they claim they have done, what happened to their vote? They are shouting. They are all calling me. The entire state across the globe, everybody is calling me to say, we voted, what happened? Everybody knew what happened. Okowa is an expert in things like this, and unfortunate, I don't know at this end of his time why he will choose to destroy whatever is left of him. It's a shame. And I am saying very categorically, we are very optimistic that the tribunal will do what is right, no matter what.
So, Chief Kenneth, how much support are you getting from the national leadership of your party? Because I see that the state executive says you are on your own, and according to the state chairman, he says you were not ready for the election. He says you didn't pay a single agent. He says they have rejected you, and embarrassing enough, they said they did not vote for you. So, how much support are you getting from the national leadership of your party?
The fellow you just referred to now has been dismissed from the party for anti-party by his own self, by his own account, has told the world that he was a mole in SDP all along. He's been dismissed by the national NWC of the party. He's no longer a member of the SDP, as you have seen. He claimed he has joined an NGO. He's been a tout, actually, and then nothing to that effect. He was on his own. In fact, what happened, if you want to pro into that, which is very shameful, if you see our state returning officer, Michael Dubo, his card, because he will not buy into the cheap of criminality, his card for the election to be a returning officer was printed dubiously with another name from Okowa's village. Shameful acts. I mean, you cannot, in this day and time where you cannot hide anything, commit such volume of criminality and expect that you will go scot-free. I'm saying, I don't want to talk to those few cronies, the chairman who has been dismissed, with few of them. The party is intact. You would have seen the party and the new chairmanship, which is Mrs. Ikure, who was the deputy state chairperson. They are doing their work as a SDP member, and I think they are doing very well, The most important thing for us to realize is that Wednesday, the tribunal is going to open the pre-trial, and by the grace of God, before long, Deltans will rejoice again. Before long, the entire country. Don't forget that we have Deltans across the whole country and the world, and these people have lived with disbelief as to what is happening in Delta. My worry is that why are so much docility? Why are they there? One man, one family, and himself is turning the run. He wants to take everything. He wants to produce governor. He wants to produce House of Assembly. He wants to produce everything in the state. Such an important state. We were one of the greatest and the best educated state in Nigeria. Suddenly, Delta has become the last in the queue of states that has anything to do. Everything you hear about Delta is a lie. I timed it at the time that Delta has become the headquarters of lies and, misinformation. But by the grace of God, everything that has a beginning must have an end. I know Okowa has reached its end. God has manifested that much. Let us pray and see how it goes. We are hopeful. Let the tribunal do his job, and the world is there to look, watch, and see the outcome of their decisions. He has no business other than just bribing people. He has one essay in which we told the world that that's what they do. That's all they do. They don't do any other thing. They don't believe in judgment. He knew. And for me to tell you the truth, Okowa and I sat down, and I told him that this boy is an ex-convict. I told him this boy is an ex-convict. I told him categorically that this boy, he's using his senior brother's certificate. The senior brother, Francis, who was a pastor, he never went to any primary school. The mother was my tenant. I knew him to his house. I knew him every day. So what I'm saying to you is that the boy cannot read and write. Okowa is just looking for a totem, somebody he believes he could masquerade and do whatever he wants to do. He doesn't believe in election in itself. Tell me one star project. Tell me. Wiki told us, federal government said they gave us so much money. He said he did not see the money. How? So it's all lies. Don't believe anything coming from that, Leave all of this charade. The most important thing is that I told him, and he called him up. He called the boy. He said, oh, you went to confess that you were an ex-convict? I was the former chairman of the Legal Aid Council of Nigeria. I visited him in prison. All those certificates he's parading, all those papers, belongs to his brother Francis, the pastor. So we know the details of what we have. And we have the same for everybody who had contested the election. And if all those certificates are fake in our day and time as a Nigerian, as a country, there's no way anybody can, vilify it or take it out of the realm and say, you are governor. That man can never be a governor in Delta, and the facts are there for everybody to see.
All right. But Chief Kenneth, some people say the SDP is not a veritable platform for you to realize your governorship ambition. Why did you join the party?
For your information, PDP was not in Delta. We took PDP. When I took PDP and I was contesting for the primaries of PDP, Okowa was contesting for a local government chairmanship. We made the party what it is. And for you to understand very quickly, since the day I left PDP, PDP has lost the cream, the la cream of membership of PDP to zero. There's nothing left other than the small cronies and bits and pieces of people who Okowa is masquerading. Name any human being that is in PDP today with him. Nobody. Everybody has left. And that was after I left. That was how the whole party cascaded. The fact remains that you can take a cow to the stream, but you cannot force the cow to drink water. Okowa has killed the party. Okowa is telling you, come. what he's doing is different. But everybody has come to know Okowa across the country. He has lost face. He has lost credibility. So who? No party by itself does not mean anything. It's people that make party. SDP became the greatest party in Nigeria, and 90% of every Nigerian was an SDP member when Abiola won the election in his 1983 election. Abiola made it what it is. After that, PDP won election in Delta State with great man like Felix Ibru, who became a governor by the merit of election. And they went down. This young criminal, okay, as you said, was there for 10 years and killed the party. He was just in the party every election time. He comes up as a governorship candidate, sell the whole thing and collect 5 million, 10 million, little money, because, I mean, that was his fitless arrangement. Now, I came. You will testify that after I took over the ticket of the party, I made the party truly national. Everybody knew the party. We went to places. We went to every local government. We went to every king. The endorsements are there for you to see. Every church in Delta State, take the Anglican Church, for instance, where Okowa is a member. The primate of the Anglican, those are the bishop, the Archbishop of the Anglican Church, Odutemu, with all the 7 dioceses, we visited and they all gave their blessing. Take the Catholic Church, we did the same. Take the CAC Church, we did the same. Take the Baptist Church, we did the same. We went everywhere because the membership or the persons that are voting in Delta State are Christians. So when people started laughing at me as though I had made some mistake, yes.
All right, so
yes,
now, inauguration of a new government. I'm sorry, I had to touch that because our time is fast running. So inauguration of a new government is a week away. What are your expectations?
You cannot put something on nothing. They can go on with the charade of inaugurating governor or whatever they are saying, but I can tell you that at the appropriate time, you will come and confirm that it's not true. You cannot, in today's particular world, put something on nothing. The governorship candidate, as is being touted, is not qualified ab initio to be a candidate, and the Constitution says so, the Electoral Act says so, INEC have said so. All we are waiting for is the D-Day. It will happen the way it has happened in Nigeria in several cases.
So, Chief Kenneth, what are your expectations? And if you were to advise the president-elect, what are the 4 critical areas you will want him to focus on?
You see, the president-elect has got a lot of duties and situations to correct. We tried as much as possible when I was the Minister for Education to do a bit. The president-elect is not unknown to me. I will try and reach out to him and provide some advice and solution from somebody coming from this other part of it. I wonder what people are saying, but he's been declared a winner, as it were. Let us wait and see to see that he can bring the necessary change, if that is the case. And Nigerians should take it the way it has come, if that is where we are. But with regards to Nigeria, we have a lot of mileage to cover. We have a lot of things to put in place. A lot of things are wrong, very much so. And unless we correct them, we'll wake up one day and Nigeria is nowhere.
Thank you very much. All right, I must say a very big thank you to you tonight for coming on the program of speaking with the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, SDP in Delta State, Chief Kenneth Baggy, for discussion on the fallout of the state governorship election in that state. And I must say, we wish you the very best with your case in the tribunal. Thank you very much for finding time to join us tonight. Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you very much, Mom. Thank you very much, Mom.
Thank you very much for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatuji. Goodbye.